Good day, everybody. How you guys doing? This is KoskyFx, bring you another psychology episode. We have a very special guest on the show today. It's Mr. iFX himself. I call him Professor Chris. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to get this session in. So yeah, let's get it in.
Yeah, mine, Chris, man. So me and Chris, we know how long we know each other, man? Years?
Yeah, a couple of years now, man.
Couple years, and we both brothers who love the Lord.
Yeah, definitely.
We have God first in our life, man. He's above everything, man.
Yeah.
Without him, we couldn't accomplish what we accomplished today. Um, and then me and Chris started to get connected because a friend of mine told me he was into Forex, and I was just getting into Forex. At the time, several years ago, I started with IML or MML, whatever they call themselves now today.
Yeah.
I just had a horrible experience with them. And I can't remember how long I lasted. But they were the group that got me into Forex. It's just that they didn't taught me how to trade. They taught me how to depend on their devices, and I had to pay monthly fees, and I wasn't in for that. I just wanted to be an independent trader and know the craft by myself. And I went over to Wall Street Academy. I think Chris was in Wall Street Academy as well.
Yeah, I was on Wall Street at the time.
Yeah, it was Wall Street Academy. I think I was in Wall Street for a year. That I don't know how I found out about KoskyFx, CFX, and Chris is like, yeah, man, he's in CFX as well. I say, what? I say, man, all right, so I know he can't leave me behind.
Yeah, bro. That was something like because I knew DC from in Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always like doing his own thing. Like he was doing some next level stuff, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" And I remember when he started trading like US 30, and he was trying to get everybody to like, "Hey, look at this." This was before everybody was trading US 30. So really, I really believe like he's the one that kind of made US 30 as popular as it is, and he was doing some insane numbers, and his trading style was different. Like he just had like an in-depth look at the market, and that was capturing everybody. And he disappeared. He took a little hiatus, and he disappeared for a while. And I definitely missed him whilst he was gone. And then some of his videos leaked online on YouTube. So I was excited about that, and then I can't remember how I found out that he was doing a course, but he was like probably his second month into doing the course, and I was like, all right, I bet I'm gonna get in on that. Oh yeah, and that's how I got in, and I left Wall Street, and that was it.
Yeah, man, because when I joined CFX, I was still a struggling trader. What I meant by that, I wasn't like, a consistent winner. I had some wins, but I took loss pretty, a toll on me. I won some, I lost up, but it wasn't like a becoming like that consistent winner. But ever since I joined the CFX family, I've been baptized with the sauce. Like Carter, I give him so much credit. He worked on me from where I was at, and just the weakness. He told me to work on that on a consistent basis. Where that's not even my weakness now. But when I joined CFX, you know, I wasn't familiar with price action. So I got the whole understanding, everything I'd known about, you know, Forex and trading. I forgot all those and just relearned. So
Yeah.
I reprogrammed my mind. You know, I got a new development installed into my system, and I was a beast. The to be I joined the can't remember which day I joined CFX, but a few months later, I went to the 5-day C. That was in July, after the week after independence in the States. Um, and I think I told I messaged you guys. I say, look at y'all gotta come to this 5-day C. Boy, my mind
Yeah.
being blown. And DC, you know, DC introduced us to, you know, that bank knowledge. Just knowing how the bank thinks in the market, where the bank enters in the market. So he gave us that information and knowledge. Um, I'd be, you know, really, you guys, I struggled with um, at the time, that is. I struggled with identify transition in the market. I did the higher highs, higher lows, and lower highs and lower lows wrongly all of the years until DC fixed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my experience, I tell you, I'm grateful that, you know, I invested in it. I am grateful that, you know, um, the the whole turnaround into the Forex business changed me. It created a beast where I'm killing in the market, where I have now grown from being, having some win, but being a consistent winner, And I give all credits to DC, man, and his uh his knowledge, his information, his being able to help us, and that psychology aspect, because I now come to believe, I believe that, psychology is, 90%, of trading. Actually, I believe 100%, because you could have all the technical analysis, but if your psychology isn't there, man, that's the bread and butter of Forex, man. So yes,
Definitely.
yeah, man. So Chris, just tell me your experience, because you did the 5-day C after me. You did it in October last year. And
Yeah, I did it in October. Yeah.
yeah. So how was your experience? How of that, transform even your trading psychology? How has it been, ever since, man? So let us know.
I mean, right out the gate. I mean, I was excited to be there from day one, and
Mm-hmm.
DC was all business from day one. We had all the laughs and jokes,
Yeah.
but he came there to invest in us, put that knowledge in us. So he was definitely serious, and we saw that he was serious. So that even made us more serious. Uh, there was so much. There's literally so much that happens in those few short days.
Yeah.
So much information. Your mind is going through like a total transformation. So as soon as you have so much like aha moments, and as
Yeah.
soon as you have an aha moment, you're like, oh, I see the Holy Grail now. And then it's like you go there the next day, and he's like, and
Kick it
then
up a notch.
you have another aha moment. So it was crazy, and it wasn't just about like the technicals. It wasn't just the fundamentals. It was more about your personal development.
Yep.
Honestly, your personal development, how you see yourself, how you should view yourself, and how that reflects in your trading. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like a self discovery for me, and it was like him kind of opening doors and kind of showing me parts of me that I didn't even know was there. So that whole time, like when I remember when the last day when everybody was leaving, we were just like mind blown, and it was a lot to process.
Yeah.
So you really had to just go back and just like go through everything and let everything digest. And like right from that scene 5-day C, like we were taking trades. I remember I was able to hold trade for a month and 5 days. I held a trade in gold, and that was the longest. I never had that mentality before to like swing a trade for so long, you know. And I did it with gold. I did it with oil. It's like right from that 5 day C, it was like a rocket straight out of there. You know, it was definitely something.
Yeah, man. Like my first day experience, these is like, okay, guys, you're gonna trade 2 to 4 pairs. Pick your pairs and jump on it. I was like, 2 to 4 pairs. Like everything that it I should say all the the walls I had of trading, where I feel like there was a wall stopping me from reaching that next level, or that it came crumbling down, man. After my experience with it, it took me several weeks just to process, all that was gathered in that short 5 days experience, man. And we're gonna touch on your belief system, man. I I always quote this this writer. He said that you become what you believe. And if your belief system is that you always have self-doubt of yourself, you you reflect the wrong image of yourself, it isn't a positive image. It could affect your belief system. Repetition makes it stick, and that's where consistency um, kicks in. And when you worked on, your personal belief system, how you see yourself as a not just a trader but as an individual, in your everyday life, man. So tell me something about what helped you worked on your belief system personally, Chris.
What helped me pretty much kind of stemmed from the 5 day C. DC was asking us. I remember this day. DC was asking us like, do you believe that you're going to be a successful trader? And everybody was like, yeah. And he's like, what? Because we answered, just like we weren't sure, like we weren't certain. We didn't answer with confidence. Oh, yeah. So he asked us again. We kind of did the same thing because we weren't really getting where he was going. Then he asked us one more time with more authority. And we kind of understood like, okay, yeah, we got to really answer. We got to be really confident. And what he said from there was like, you've got to have unwavering belief. You've got to believe in yourself. Like, I can't do it for you. I can give you the tools, but you have to believe in your mind that you're going to be successful. And then he leaned on to, what we were doing to become successful. Like, are you journaling? Are you are you respecting your trading plan? Are you being disciplined in your trading plan? Like, these are the things. Like, so when he asked us to take out our journals, and it's like,
I was ashamed. I say, oh my goodness, journal.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, before that, like in our group on Facebook, he always stresses like the importance of journaling. So I mean, you can be a person that takes instruction, but never actually carry out those instructions. So he's telling us, journaling, you must journal. It's important. You're gonna see the benefits. And everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, you might do it for a day or two, or maybe even a week, but this is something that you should be doing every single day. Like, how are you going to measure your process if you don't have a ruler, something to measure by? So if you're not journaling, how can you reflect and see how you can improve here, or maybe this isn't working for you, take that out. So it's really just fine-tuning your strategy, fine-tuning your edge. So if you cannot do that, if you're not taking the steps to do that, how do you want to become, how do you expect to become the successful trader? So that's what I really took from it, because I had some really bad habits I wasn't being disciplined, and it showed. And he reflected more on, you know, yourself, not just trading. Like, how are you disciplined in your everyday life? You know, are you lackadaisical? Are you a person that, you know, plans, you know, your day ahead and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then to carry that out? Or you're that person that, you know, thinks, okay, I'm going to do this, and by the end of the day, you may have done one or two things on that list, you know. So if you can't, you know, discipline and structure your own life, like, how are you going to do something that's, you know, as hard as trading is? And trading is simple.
Yep.
But it's difficult. You know, it's simple in theory, like, you know, you buy and sell, but it's it has a lot of gray area in there.
Yeah, it's truth, man. Yeah, man, that journaling. I remember my first day and my journal didn't. I was like, oh my goodness, I only journal a few days. Easy, look at this. You'd be like, dude, where's your journal?
Exactly.
And the journal helps you see, you know, I mean, you said it, measure your growth, but it shows you that measuring stick from where you were then to where you are now. That's one of the staging of being that 1% better on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, man. It's that journaling and that consistency of journaling, not just doing it at one time.
Right.
Every trade, of course, you and I, every trade, you know, we press a buy or sell, we place that in our journal. And, you know, even the loss, we could say, okay, I can identify why I lost, and I can identify why I win. There was a why to it. And when I started to journal and see, you know, what those losses, because one, I didn't follow my trading plan, or my trading schedule. I wasn't consistent there. And so another thing I want to talk about is, man, consistency, you know, and, you know, identifying your belief patterns, or even trading patterns. You have to find that consistency, where, you know, both of us have a trading schedule, you know. My trading schedule, I'm up from 3:30, 4 o'clock. Then I'm at the chart on the charts at 5 o'clock, and I do that for a consistent basis. And now it's changing now because on Fridays I'm normally up with you guys because y'all like that midnight. From I've been doing that ever since, you know, DC told us to work on even that, you know, the schedule, and you realize you see growth and consistency, and the way you treat your schedule, and you consistent on getting out that aside, you know, that trading time and window, you track the progress of your growth, man. So Chris, how's your schedule like on a consistent basis in trading? What time you get up, what time you are normally on the chart? You know, when I'm up, I'm, you know, either meditating, you know, I also meditate on the goodness of God and how much He's blessed me throughout my years, and then I'm on the chart, man. So let us know what your schedule like, man.
Yeah, man. I like pre-New York. I like pre-New York normally because pre-New York normally gives me a nice entry for the rest of the day, because pre-New York tends to retest those London entries. So if I get up, or when I get up, sorry, at about 6 o'clock, I do the same thing, man. I just say a word of prayer, read a scripture, and I, you know, make myself some tea, and I sit down, and I just look at the charts and see what London gave me. And this is all about preparation as well, because the night before at about 10 o'clock, what I do is just kind of go make a video journal of what I expect to see the next day. If I don't see this, then I won't do that. If I see this, then I'll do that. So when I wake up and I see how the market has reacted to my plan, it just makes execution a whole lot easier, especially if the setup is right there waiting for me. So it doesn't keep me, I'm not stuck at the computer for a very long time. I also like pending orders as well. If I can't see it happening, in my trading window, then I can set a pending order, and I'm pretty good at my pending orders. So, you just have to treat it like a business. Like you said earlier, repetition, you got to be doing the same thing over and over. Trading should be boring. Everybody is excited about making money, but as soon as you get over those emotions of, I just had a big win, or I just had a big loss, but you should never have a big loss. You should have, big wins, break even, or a small loss. But as soon as you get rid of all those emotions and, you can win, or you close a trade with, $3,000 for the day, and you're just like, okay, what's next? It's not a big excitement for you. That means that you've arrived at a place that, that those emotions are out of there, and you're beginning to trade like a robot. All right. So if I lose today, all right, I'm going to find out why I lost and come back tomorrow. If I won today, all right, I'm going to go and find out how I could have, probably gotten a better entry or a tighter, stop, whatever, and try to do better tomorrow. So,
yeah, man, love that, man. And really, I think what, have been setting us apart, for retail traders is our work ethic. Trading has a price, man, and you have to put the work ethic in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know me, you, and Jaquan, we love back testing. I like.
Yeah.
My growth, well, some of my growth happened, and when I see past move during my back testing, I was like, wow, okay, this happened. And I always discover something new, and even my back testing, I have to set a alarm clock because I don't feel time when I back testing, because I get so excited and passionate. When I back testing, that I say, okay, this is my limit of how much I'm going to back test, because time doesn't exist, man. Because when you're in your passion, man, something ignites in you. Another question, man, Chris, how do you develop a trading discipline?
How do you develop trading discipline? Yeah. Well, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. So it's kind of hard to develop trading discipline if you don't have like a certain level of discipline in your own life. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can say, oh, I'm going to journal, or I'm going to do this, but if you're undisciplined in your personal life, then you're not going to be disciplined in trading. Now, the funny thing about that is trading can actually have that effect on you, whereas it actually transfers into your personal life. So, for instance, for me, honestly, for someone who was not so disciplined, or for someone who realized that I was not very disciplined before that 5-day seed, because that's where I actually realized that, hey, dude, I'm not a very disciplined person, So once you're at that point, you can realize that, then you can start putting those steps into place. So if you're passionate about trading, then I think this is where you becoming disciplined in trading actually carries over to your personal life. But if you're not passionate about trading, if you're somebody that's, just trying to make money, then that's something that you can't implement from your trading side, because trading is not your passion. Mm-hmm. You're not going to take it seriously to implement those steps for it to actually carry over to your personal life. Now, on the other side, if you're a person that's kind of disciplined, then that's something that you can easily carry over to your trading goals, your trading style. So you just have to realize, which side of the fence you're on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. You in the trading industry, trading business, you have to train to be a long runner, not a sprinter. Yeah, you have to go through that process.
Mm-hmm.
development, you know, that consistency, that self-belief. All that requires is going to help you grow on a consistent base. Whenever you become successful, conscious, you now align yourself to walk in that reality, man. And it's been just my motto, man. Just seeing that, becoming that success conscious, man, have allowed me, you know, to see the fulfillment of that. But man, Chris, thank you so much for the show, for coming on this episode. You know, I always call him Professor Chris. He's the trainer.
Yeah, man. There's no problem at all, man. I like this, especially for Albanian people who are, you know, beginning to get interested and more exposed to trading, because I mean it's been hidden from us for so long. Mm-hmm. And especially the state of, you know, not even just the Bahamas right now, the world right now.
Yeah.
This allows us so much opportunity, and I just want people to jump at it in the right aspect. So I like these things that you're doing. I really like the last episode you had with Jaquan, and I got a lot of views as well. So I'm hoping people take it the right way. You know, we kind of got burnt, mm-hmm. and it's kind of put a stigma on the islands, especially because of what IML did and how they approached, you know, their business and trading, to the fact that they actually had to, you know, rebrand and kind of get away from that IML name, because it's such a stigma now. Professional traders, we do not like we do not like that, man. We do not like that multi-level and marketing thing when it comes to trading. So that's how passionate we are about it. But coming from IML, just like you, I appreciate them from exposing me to the trading world. Not to say that everybody in IML is bad. It's just that, you know, I think their tactics were a little off. Yeah. But yeah, man, this was great, and I hope everybody that listens to this and they're interested in trading realizes, you know, how important it is to make sure that you're mentally strong in trading. One of my favorite shows right now is actually Brilliance. I don't know if you've watched that, but Brilliance is.
Yeah, you get me hooked on that.
Oh, so you watching it?
Yeah, man, you get me hooked on that.
So if like this is how important psychology is in trading, your mental state. On the show Brilliance, Wendy Rhodes, she's like the in-house psychiatrist. Like, it's so important for the traders there to have an in-house psychiatrist, because whenever they're off mentally, they can go to her, and she, you know, she's a great doctor on the show. She fixes them up, and they're able to become that beast, or realize that they are that beast that they are, and go out and crush it. But, you know, it's that important. People kind of skip that aspect that, like you said, it's like almost 100% of the trading is mental. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. Appreciate you guys for listening and tuning in for up to psychology episode. I want to end with this quote by this famous basketball player. He said, "Dedication sees dreams come true," and that's from the late great Kobe Bryant. And also, guys, Kobe, yeah, man, you know, he's one of my favorite players of all time. So, guys, thank you for joining us, and remember to find your niche. Love you guys and appreciate you tuning in.